their pupils, their slitted pupils. Do you know how rare that is in the animal kingdom?
Look, you might get your mind blown by the amount of complexity in eyes around planet Earth. What's fascinating and seems constant is this. The longer an animal has evolved, the more intricate and specialized its eyes have become, perfectly fine-tuned to help it survive in its environment in the wildest ways. The bird kingdom boasts numerous majestic predators like eagles, hawks, and falcons. But as night falls, the games begin for one group of hunter. Owls have many adaptations that make them reign supreme at stalking prey at night, including specialized wing feathers for silent flight. It could just swoop and snatch an adult hawk like this. It's literally any bird's worst nightmare. Asymmetrical ears for triangulating the locations of sounds made by their prey, and legs tipped with deadly talons exerting a force of up to 750 pounds per square inch at the tips of their talons. Overall, though, there's one characteristic in particular that birdwatchers find captivating: owls' eyes. Owls are distinctive for a wise aura, brought about by the ancient Greeks due to their intense stare, resulting from the position of their piercing eyes, both of which are located facing forward on the front of the head, just like our own. This arrangement is actually an adaptation for tracking the movements of potential prey. Where their two eyes' fields of view overlap, owls have 3D or binocular vision, a trait they share with humans and the many other predatory animals. This provides them with acute depth perception that allows them to gauge distance to perfectly time their attacks. In fact, owls have the most forward-facing eyes of any group of birds. Prey animals, on the other hand, tend to have eyes situated on the sides of their heads. This arrangement sacrifices depth perception for a wider field of view that gives them a better chance of spotting incoming danger. Humans and owls may share binocular vision, but owls are equipped with an important feature that we lack: nictitating membranes. These translucent third eyelids close horizontally from the inside corner of owl eyes and are there to protect them from debris when the owl swoops in for the attack. Forward-facing eyes and extra eyelids aren't the only optical advantages that owls possess. They have one important habit that sets them apart from other avian predators. Most of them hunt at night, and that means they need to be really good at seeing in the dark. Owls' enormous eyes help them take in enough light to see, even after the sun sets. Owl eyes make up as much as 5% of these birds' total body weight. Yeah, I know that may not sound like a lot, but for comparison, your eyeballs are about 0.0003% of your total weight. In addition to their outsized eyes, owl pupils dilate extremely wide to let as much light as possible hit the light-sensitive retina at the back of the eye. Like us, owls have two different types of light-sensitive cells in their retinas: rods, which detect light and movement, and cones, which distinguish color. Humans have about 20 rods for every cone, but in owls that ratio is more like 30-to-1, making them exceptionally good at picking up movement even when it's dark. If you've ever caught a glimpse of owl eyes glowing in the beam of a flashlight, you've witnessed one of nature's most mesmerizing adaptations. Those glowing eyes aren't just for show, they're a powerful tool that enhances their night vision. Behind their light-sensitive retina is a layer called the tapetum lucidum, a reflective surface that captures any light that passes through and bounces it back to the retina, making it easier for owls to see in near total darkness. Thanks to this and other specialized features, an owl's eyes are up to 100 times more sensitive to light than ours. There's just one problem: fitting those gigantic eyes into the relatively small skull of a bird: owls' eyeballs. No, owls don't have eyeballs in the traditional sense. Instead, their eyes are elongated tubes, another unique adaptation to help them see better in the dark. These tube-like eyes are fixed in place. They can't move the way ours can. To hold these large, rigid structures in place, owls have special bony rings around their eyes called sclerotic rings. This means that while you can roll your eyes around, an owl's eyes are always locked straight ahead. So, how do owls make up for this? With an incredible ability to rotate their necks. They can turn their necks a mind-boggling 270 degrees, 3/4 of a full circle, in either direction, and even 90 degrees up and down. Their neck flexibility is their secret weapon, compensating for eyes that can't move. And those giant eyes? In some species, they're so big you could peek into the owl's ears and spot the base of its eyes. During the day, owls are often subject to attacks from almost all other bird species, especially crows. Just see how they jump this solitary bird. But it's just vengeance for the owl's sins as night falls. This has led to a common misconception that because owls have excellent night vision, that means they're blind in daylight. Not true. Owl pupils can contract in bright light just like ours do. They can dilate and contract the pupil of each eye independently, giving them an amazing amount of control over just how much light hits the retina in each eye. They might just be sleepy, but can surely see clearly. In fact, some owl species are more active during the day than at night.
Wait, did that guy just hand him his own arm? That's crazy.
The mantis shrimp is famous for its jaw-dropping, bone-crushing uppercut, so powerful it can split turtle shells and shatter tough crab legs in a flash. But what about its vision? This creature's eyesight is just as mind-blowing as its punch. As territorial and active predators, the mantis shrimp relies heavily on its exceptional vision for survival. It spends much of its time scanning its environment for even the slightest movements, reacting instantaneously. Their eyes are compound, similar to those of bees or flies, and consist of thousands of small individual units called ommatidia. These ommatidia, which contain clusters of photoreceptor cells, send visual information directly to the mantis shrimp's nervous system instead of the brain, reducing processing time and allowing for extremely rapid response times. Each one is a marvel of design, made up of two flattened hemispheres, divided by parallel rows of specialized ommatidia, creating an area called the midband. This midband houses anywhere from 2 to 6 rows of ommatidia, splitting the eye into 3 distinct regions. What's truly mind-blowing is that this allows the mantis shrimp to see objects near the center of its vision using 3 separate parts of the same eye. In other words, it has trinocular vision, giving it pinpoint depth perception for objects in the mid-plane, almost like a living satellite. The upper and lower hemispheres, on the other hand, focus on shape recognition and motion detection, much like the eyes of other crustaceans. It's a whole new world of sight. While humans have just 3 types of photoreceptor cells, these incredible creatures boast a whopping 12 to 16, giving them the ability to see an explosion of colors far beyond what we can imagine. They can detect light across an entire spectrum, from deep ultraviolet to far red, and even pick up on polarized light. The magic happens in the midband of their eyes, where 6 rows of ommatidia work together to process this vast array of visual information. Rows 1 through 4 focus on the color detection, while rows 5 and 6 are finely tuned to pick up polarized light, both circular and linear. And here's a mind-blowing twist. 4 of the photoreceptor types in rows 1 to 4 are specifically designed to detect ultraviolet light. Talk about having an eye for detail. While the exact advantages of polarization vision are still a bit of a mystery, we know it plays a key role in the lives of many animals. For some, it's essential for sexual signaling or secretive communication that helps them stay one step ahead of predators. This ability might even give them an evolutionary boost because it requires only small tweaks in the eye's cells. It's a trait that could easily be passed down and favored by natural selection. It's like a hidden superpower that can make all the difference in the survival game. The mantis shrimp's eyes are truly built for their high-speed, high-stakes lifestyle. With their incredible vision, they can easily distinguish between different types of coral, spot prey, many of which are transparent or semi-transparent, and even track predators like barracudas, whose shimmering scales are a dead giveaway. But their eyes aren't just for spotting danger. They're also key to their lightning-fast hunting technique. The mantis shrimp's rapid claw strikes require sharp depth perception to nail the perfect target. Their ability to see ultraviolet light gives them an even bigger advantage, letting them detect prey that's nearly invisible to the naked eye, blending into the vibrant coral reefs. Researchers believe these incredible eyes could help detect cancer lesions and neural activity. Thanks to their ability to perceive polarized light, mantis shrimp can spot differences in how light reflects off cancerous tissues versus healthy ones, even before a visible tumor shows up. But that's not all. Scientists are also studying how their eyes could be used to assess the strength of knee ligaments and their replacement materials. This could revolutionize patient care after surgery, offering a powerful tool for early detection and post-surgery recovery. The mantis shrimp's eyes might just hold the key to a whole new level of medical precision. See that glowing reddish-yellow bulb in the background? It's not just a light, it's actually an eye, watching you. Creepy, right? Crocodile eyes are nothing short of a natural wonder. Much like our own, crocodile eyes work when light passes through their lenses and projects onto their reptilian retina, letting them see the world around them. But it's not just how they work, it's the alternative and creative ways in which crocodiles use their eyes that makes them truly extraordinary. The crocodile's eyes are an engineering marvel. After evolving over 200 million years, these eyes have become some of the most advanced on the planet. In fact, Crocodiles have outlasted the dinosaurs by a staggering 65 million years. That's some serious evolution, making crocodile eyes one of the most advanced on the planet. Crocodiles possess a truly remarkable superpower in their eyes. With multifocal lenses, they effortlessly see the world in a full spectrum of shapes and shades. Regardless, whether it's day or night, sunny or stormy, or level of visibility, their eyes instantly self-adjust, their settings to ensure they never miss a thing. From distant horizons to the smallest movement nearby, they're always locked onto their surroundings. While humans often struggle with short-sightedness or far-sightedness, meaning they can only clearly see things up close or far away, crocodiles have the incredible ability to focus on both distant prey and subtle movements close by with equal precision. This unique vision gives them a major edge, allowing them to zero in on potential prey without even budging an inch. Crocodiles have a fascinating, almost otherworldly feature in their eyes, a horizontal streak of densely packed receptors called the fovea that gives them a strikingly wide field of vision. While their eyes might look like eerie, pale marbles, this oddity is not just for show. It's a survival tool of the highest order. Unlike most mammals, where the fovea is centrally placed and requires head or eye movement to survey the surroundings, the crocodile enjoys a distinct advantage. They don't need to shift their gaze to take in the bigger picture. Even the slightest ripple in the water, the tiniest twitch, is enough to catch their eye. This is a game changer for a predator that relies on stealth. Any noise or movement from potential prey could give away the crocodile's position and send its quarry running. But the beauty of the crocodile's eye is that it doesn't need to move a muscle to spot its next meal. It's always watching. This reptile's all-seeing orbs are built for one thing: zeroing in on what matters, no matter the detail or lack thereof. If you were to throw it into a human eye test, well, don't expect it to ace it. The crocodile's vision is far from sharp, and besides, it'd probably snack on the optician before the test even began. Its eyes aren't made for fine details and depth perception. That's a no-go too. While it can spot objects in its path, the world around it often appears as a hazy blur, especially at a distance. Still, it doesn't need perfect clarity to hunt. What it does have is a nearly 360-degree field of vision, taking in everything around it in a single sweeping glance. So, how does this cunning predator keep track of everything in its wide, panoramic view?
Oh my God.
That's the real question. The way a crocodile's eyes are positioned plays tricks on the mind. It gives the impression of an optical illusion. Stand directly in front of one, though, let's be real, that's not the smartest idea. And they'll seem to be staring straight at you, locked in a forward gaze. But turn to the side, and that illusion is shattered. From this angle, you'll still feel the weight of its stare, as though the crocodile's eyes are still following you, no matter which way you move. What's even creepier? Their eyes can shift seamlessly from front to side, tracking every twitch you make. But there's more lurking behind those cold, unblinking eyes. Let's take a closer look at the scientific inner structure. What makes these sneaky predators' vision so fascinating? Crocodiles have wounds that are practically armored, thanks to their thick, reinforced eyelids. These tough lids protect their eyes from any threats that might come their way, whether it's an aggressive attack or a nasty swipe. But it doesn't end there. These crafty creatures can retract their eyeballs deep into their sockets for even more protection. Now, you might think one eyelid per eye should do the trick, but if you're spending your days in murky, swamp-filled waters, that's just not enough. For crocodiles, the magic number is 3. Not only does the upper eyelid provide defense, but the lower eyelid works in tandem with it to shield a third, specialized eyelid, each one playing a vital role in keeping their vision safe and sharp. The crocodile's third eyelid is like a pair of natural goggles, transparent and sleek. It slides over the eye whenever the croc dives beneath the water's surface. This clever membrane lets the reptile keep its vision sharp while shielding its eyes from the muck and debris swirling around. But just like a human wearing goggles, there's a catch. The croc's vision isn't crystal clear. The trade-off for protection is a blurry, hazy view of whatever lies ahead, making it harder to focus on anything in its path. Still, it's a small price to pay when you're stalking prey in the murky depths. At the back of a crocodile's retina, tiny crystalline mirrors work like light-directing specialists, capturing daylight and making sure it reaches the right spots. But as night takes over, the pigment cells powering this process shut down, and the hidden crystal plates kick into gear, reflecting whatever little light remains, making things appear much brighter than they would to human eyes. The result? The crocodile's eyes start to glow like neon lights, casting an eerie, supernatural shine that only adds to its menacing stare. When darkness falls, it's like the croc has traded in its underwater goggles for a pair of night vision binoculars, giving it a sharp advantage in the shadowy depths. Here is something funny about crocs. Crocodiles, often seen as cold, emotionless hunters, have a surprising quirk. They actually shed tears. That's right. These fearsome reptiles have been caught tearing up while tearing into a tasty torso. But before you start picturing a crocodile overwhelmed with guilt or sorrow for its prey, let's set the record straight. Their tears have nothing to do with remorse. The truth is, crocodile tears are just a natural, involuntary response to the physical effort of chomping down. As they hiss and huff with all their might, the pressure causes fluids to spill from their eyes, creating the illusion of crying. So, while crocodile tears are real, they're not a sign of emotional regret, just the result of a hungry predator doing what it does best. Dragonflies are the world's most efficient hunters, with an astonishing success rate of up to 95% in capturing their prey. It's no surprise when you learn that about 80% of their brain is dedicated to one thing: vision. Their eyes are so sharp, it's as if they're watching the world in slow motion, processing around 200 images per second, way faster than our human eyes can manage. And they don't just see in front of them, they can take in a full 360-degree view, making them masters of their surroundings. Color is another vital piece of their survival puzzle, helping them spot their own kind, potential mates, and even the youngest of their species. The vivid hues of most dragonflies are a sight to behold. Even through human eyes, they're nothing short of dazzling. The way animals see the world depends on the variety of opsin proteins in their eyes. And let's just say, dragonflies are in a league of their own. While humans might think our vision is top tier, thanks to our big brains, we're actually working with just 3 opsin genes, which means we only have 3 types of photoreceptors: cones, sensitive to blue, green, and red light. This lets us see a range of colors from red to violet, but ultraviolet light? We miss that entirely. Now, imagine this. Dragonflies have between 15 and 33 opsin genes. With that many, it's no wonder their vision is so advanced. Some of these opsins might serve other functions, but many of them are fine-tuned for seeing a dazzling array of wavelengths, including short wavelength, long wavelength, and ultraviolet light. Talk about superpowered sight. Their huge compound eyes are split into 2 regions, each with a special role. The upper or dorsal part captures short wavelength light straight from the sky and is packed with yellow pigments and an abundance of blue receptors, along with a special spot called the fovea. This gives them sharp, focused vision to track fast-moving prey against the bright, open sky. In fact, the sky probably looks dazzlingly bright to a dragonfly, while the lower or ventral part contains several types of photoreceptors that can pick up light bouncing off the ground below across a broad range, from UV to red. What makes these eyes so amazing is that they're made up of thousands of tiny lenses, called ommatidia. Some dragonflies have up to 30,000 of them in each eye. But that's not all. Right in the middle of their heads, dragonflies also have small ocelli, which act as horizon detectors. These tiny eyes help the dragonfly stay perfectly oriented while soaring through the air, ensuring it never loses its sense of direction. Their wraparound eyes let them see almost everything at once. Picture this. As a dragonfly zooms toward you, it can see you straight ahead, catch a glimpse of you as it flies past, and still spot you behind them once they're beyond you. The vision behind them might not be quite as sharp as the view in front, thanks to larger ommatidia up front, but it's still pretty impressive. With this incredible eye setup, dragonflies truly have eyes in the back of their heads, giving them a nearly 360-degree view of everything happening around them. Round pupils are a hallmark of the active foragers, the mighty predators like wolves, lions, and tigers, who relentlessly chase down their prey. On the flip side, plant-eating animals like deer, sheep, and horses have a different vision setup. Their horizontally elongated pupils, combined with eyes set on the sides of their heads, give them an incredible panoramic view, perfect for spotting danger while they graze. And here's the cool part. These animals can rotate their eyes in their sockets, keeping that crucial horizontal slit intact, even when they lower their heads to feed. It's nature's clever way of keeping them aware and safe, no matter what position they're in. Vertical slit pupils are the secret weapon of ambush predators, those sneaky hunters that lie in wait, ready to strike at a moment's notice, whether it's day or night. Think foxes, stealthy reptiles, and even our clever domestic cats. With forward-facing eyes and a sharp sense of timing, these predators rely on their vertical slits to judge distances with pinpoint accuracy, giving them the perfect advantage for that lightning-fast pounce. It's a fascinating optical design that helps them nail their target every time. Stereopsis, or depth perception, is your brain's superpower for judging distance by blending the slightly different views from each eye. Want to see it in action? Hold your finger out in front of you and focus on a target. Now, close your right eye and then switch, closing your left eye and opening the right. Notice how your finger seems to shift? That's stereopsis at work. For ambush predators, like a cat stalking its prey, this skill is a game changer. They rely on precise depth perception to land that perfect strike, and a misjudgment could cost them the meal. Just like the aperture on a camera, your pupil controls how much light enters your eye, adjusting its size to suit the environment. Humans, with their round pupils, rely on ring-shaped muscles to make the pupil shrink or expand. But cats? They've got vertical slit pupils, which come with extra side muscles that allow for a much bigger range of adjustment. A cat's pupil can change its size by an astonishing 135 times, while our round pupils only shift about 15 times. This gives cats the perfect vision for both dim light and blinding daylight. Nothing can throw them off. For ambush predators, this ability to fine-tune light intake is crucial for gauging distance accurately and setting up that perfect pounce. The stealthy vertical slit is the perfect adaptation. But there's more to those vertical slit pupils than just light control and precise hunting. They also give you a glimpse into your cat's emotions. Yes, those pupils are a telltale sign of how your feline is feeling. Want to decode your cat's moods? Dive deeper into their body language and eye cues. If you've ever camped by a pond with a loud, persistent bullfrog, you've probably noticed how lively they become once night falls. Frogs and toads are equipped with night vision that's truly out of this world, outshining nearly every other creature. Not only can they see in the dark, but they can also pick up on colors and conditions so pitch black that humans can't even make out a shadow. This extraordinary ability was uncovered in a study by researchers at Lund University in Sweden. Most vertebrates, including us, rely on two types of visual cells in our retinas: cones and rods. Cones let us see in color, but they need plenty of light to work, so when it gets dark, they start to fade. That's when the rods step in, helping us navigate in black and white, but still allowing us to get around. Now, toads and frogs take it to a whole new level. Their rods are finely tuned to thrive in near total darkness, and they have a much higher number of these specialized cells than most other creatures. Thanks to this, frogs and toads don't just survive in the dark, they dominate it, seeing things where others can barely make out a shape. Imagine soaring through the sky with the sharpest vision imaginable. An eagle's eyes, set wide on either side of its head, offer nearly panoramic sight, letting it scan vast stretches of land. Picture this. You're an eagle, and from 3 miles up, you spot a rabbit darting across the ground. But that's not all. Eagles can see ultraviolet light, allowing them to track tiny creatures, like voles, by the UV traces left behind in their urine. While most humans have 20/20 vision, an eagle's eyesight blows that out of the water with a stunning 20/5 vision. To put it simply, what looks crystal clear to us at 5 feet away is just as sharp to an eagle from 20 feet. Talk about seeing the world in the high definition. Both humans and eagles have these cones on their retinas, but it's in the center of the retina where things get really interesting. That's where the fovea lives, a special spot packed with cones. For humans, the fovea is like a shallow bowl, but for eagles, it's a deep, curved pit, almost like a built-in telephoto lens. This unique design gives eagles the ability to zoom in on faraway objects with mind-blowing clarity. While humans have around 200,000 cones per millimeter in each fovea, eagles one-up us with 2 foveae per eye, and each one contains a jaw-dropping million cones per millimeter. Our eyes sit right at the front of our heads, giving us a powerful view of the world through binocular vision, but leaving us with limited peripheral sight. We need both eyes working together to create a complete, 3-dimensional picture. Eagles, on the other hand, have their eyes positioned more to the sides of their heads. While not as far apart as some birds, their eyes are fixed and angled about 30 degrees from the center of their face. This unique setup gives eagles an extraordinary 340-degree field of vision, far surpassing our 180-degree range. They can switch between binocular and monocular vision, experiencing the world in full 3 dimensions, just like we do, but on a whole other level. Cockroaches are straight-up ancient survivors, roaming the Earth for a jaw-dropping 320 million years since the Carboniferous period. That's some serious longevity in the family tree. Now, when you think of sharp vision, cockroaches probably don't top your list. But these little critters have an impressive trick up their sleeves for navigating in the dark. Unlike some animals that just reflect light to brighten things up, roaches absorb whatever light they can find at a ridiculously slow rate. Think 1 photon every 10 seconds. When it's pitch black, they rely on a fascinating time-lapse vision system. They don't see things in real time. Instead, they capture tiny bits of light over time, slowly piecing them together into a composite image. It's like they're building a snapshot of their surroundings, kind of like a time-lapse photo, and then use those pieces to form an image, allowing them to dodge obstacles and navigate through the dark with ease. Basically, their own built-in night vision. How cool is that? Honorable mention goes to the ostrich, the true heavyweight champion of eye size on land. These colossal birds sport eyes that can reach up to 2 inches, 5 centimeters in diameter. Yes, bigger than their brains. Sure, their brains might be small compared to their massive eyes, but don't let that fool you. Ostriches are far from dumb. Their secret weapon? Those enormous eyes. With such sharp vision, they can spot danger from a mile away. Combine that with their lightning-fast reflexes, and they're ready to bolt at speeds of up to 45 miles per hour, leaving predators in the dust. So, those oversized eyes aren't just for show. They're a crucial part of their wild survival strategy. The creature with the biggest eyes on land is the ostrich, but the creature with the biggest eyes on the planet is the giant squid. Its eyes can grow up to a staggering 10 inches or 25 centimeters in diameter. Imagine a basketball staring back at you from the depths of the ocean. The giant squid lives in the deep, pitch-black waters of the ocean, often over 1,000 feet or 300 meters down. With so little light reaching that far below the surface, the squid's giant eyes scoop up every last ray of light, helping it see in the gloom like no other. It's often hunted by giant predators like sperm whales. Thanks to those massive eyes, it can spot danger coming from far away, giving it precious moments to flee or hide in the darkness before becoming a meal. In the depths, where light is scarce, the squid's eyes are finely tuned to detect the faintest movements, or even glowing bioluminescence from smaller creatures. This helps it hunt efficiently, picking out prey in the deep, dark waters. Those gigantic eyes are a vital survival tool. Pretty wild, right? And that's a wrap for today. A huge shout out to everyone who stuck with me to the end. You're the real MVPs. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so we can keep this adventure going. Can't wait to see you in the next one.